Skirt Magazine recently interviewed Penny Fraser, a Broward-based artist and photographer who specializes in various forms of portraiture, from the real to the fantastical. What follows is a conversation about Penny's creative process, the multiple projects she's currently developing, and her upcoming exhibits. We hope you enjoy the interview. So I am sitting here with Penny Fraser at Art Serve in Fort Lauderdale, and I met Penny the other night when I was here for an exhibit opening, and she started showing me some of the coolest photography and augmented reality stuff that I'd seen in a while. So I wanted to get an interview in with her. So we're sitting here in her studio, and Penny, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I am Penny Fraser. I am an artist and a photographer. I'm a resident artist here at Art Serve, and I own my own studio. It's a portrait studio in Lauderdale by the Sea, where I take photos and create some really beautiful artwork too.
So what is your background in photography? It hasn't always been in photography. When did you pick up photography?
So I had a very interesting journey. I always wanted to be an artist. I took photography classes in high school, and my idea was to be an art teacher / artist. And then life happened, and I kind of went in a different direction. I went to law school. I am an attorney. I've been practicing since 2002, but I always kept my sense of artistry. I was always doing things. I've had certain shows throughout the years. Mm-hmm. And then in 2016, I started with photography, taking it really seriously and spending a lot of time learning online and practicing. I started out with nature photography, and since my roots are always been in portraits, I used to paint portraits, draw portraits. I really wanted to change direction and get into portraits. So I took classes on posing, on how to use camera lighting, lighting in the studio, cameras, mm-hmm. settings, everything related to portrait photography. And as the years progressed, I really got very good with Photoshop and Lightroom and other Adobe type products. So I feel like my photography is actually part photography and part art, because I'm always doing something creative in my photography, whether it's creative lighting or composition or dress up or editing.
Somehow enhancing it, filtering. Yeah.
That's really, the part that's being an artist. So I love it, and I love when people come to me and then they see their images and I create an emotional reaction and they really love it, and it feels good to bring joy to others through my art and photography. So I opened my studio in 2020 during the pandemic. And what really got me into taking this path full time was during the pandemic. I was home. I was working as an attorney remotely. Mm-hmm. I was in my pajamas working, and I'm alone. I only have my dog with me, and it was very isolating. Mm-hmm. And one day I decided, I'm going to set up my camera on a tripod. I'm going to set the timer, use a remote trigger. I'm going to get all glammed up, and I'm going to take my picture. And the process of just getting dressed up and feeling beautiful and then having these beautiful images and sharing them with others, I felt an instant boost of confidence. I felt happy. it completely changed my outlook. And every Sunday I would do another selfie Sunday. Some of them were just glam photos.
Mm-hmm.
Some I kind of documented the time. Like I laid down and I put different cleaning products and masks and gloves and all that stuff around me, and then I photoshopped it so it looked like I was in a sea of products, which, back then it was very hard to get products, but it was all Photoshop. And, I just went through every week, trying to, have this experience. And then I thought to myself, you know what, when this lockdown's over,
Mm-hmm.
I want to give that to other women. So I decided to have the photo shoots on the beach, and I would bring dresses. They would get glammed up because it was still, we had to stay far from each other, so we were out on the beach. So I started with those type photo shoots,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got my studio, and then in 2021 I started doing photography full time, and I came up with the 40 over 40. I know for myself, I had a lot of changes after 40,
Mm-hmm.
and all the women I talked to did as well. And I wanted to provide an experience where they could really celebrate themselves because, when you're younger, you're always taking care of family or community or job, and this is a time when you can really, take a moment and just escape from reality and just enjoy and celebrate yourself.
Focus on yourself, right?
Right. And then I photographed 40 women. I got their inspiring messages, and I had my first 40 over 40 exhibit here at ArtServe last year, and now I am preparing for the next 40 over 40 exhibition. It'll be September 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Here at ArtServe, and right now I'm photographing women for the third series. That exhibition will be next year. So it's something I hope to do every year because the more women that are involved in this experience, the more women that feel uplifted and they can, enjoy their beautiful images, but it's also a way to uplift others in the community when they come to the exhibit or they see the magazine they're featured in.
Mm-hmm.
They can read their inspiring story, and even the younger women, they can see these women in their stories and have something to look forward to.
They'll eventually be there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's my way of combating ageism because it is real, and this is a way to help the community see that women over 40 are beautiful, relevant, worthy, and they have a story to tell to uplift others.
What do you love about portraiture?
I love it because everybody has a story. Mm-hmm. Everybody is unique. And I interview all the women that I photographed for this 40 over 40. And I know that they have diverse backgrounds. They have different successes, different challenges. And every experience, makes somebody so special. So when I photograph them, I really get to know them before the photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I photograph them, and my goal is to capture their essence.
So just a little segue into,
Mm-hmm.
You also do boudoir photography.
Yes, and I love boudoir photography because it's really empowering.
Mm-hmm.
And
just in case someone listening doesn't know exactly what that is, why don't you tell us what that is?
Boudoir photography is more of an intimate type photo shoot. So for me, it really is the attitude. It's the vulnerability, the feminine spirit that comes through. Mm-hmm. Some people think, boudoir is just like a negligee type photo shoot or implied nude. But to me, it's more than that. It could be even in a dress that's kind of with a boudoir type pose and attitude. It could be a sports jersey. It could be all sorts of things. I actually have a very large wardrobe at my studio. Mm-hmm. I have glam, I have beauty looks, but I also have boudoir looks and certain like fantasy accessories, like the ostrich feather wings that Victoria's Secret angels like to wear. It's kind of like inspired by that, but that's beautiful. I also have vegan wings because I know a lot of people may be allergic or they just don't like the idea of that. So I have vegan wings that are like gorgeous and big and beautiful. Mermaid tails. I have everything, body jewelry, you know, all sorts of things. So the important thing is when I get someone that wants a boudoir photo shoot, or any photo shoot, I always ask them, like, you know, let's find out, what are you thinking about? What type of, how do you want to be portrayed in your photos? Do you want something playful? Do you want something conservative? Do you want, so I tailor make every session. Mm-hmm. I create sets in my studio. I have a large studio. I have 4 rooms, 2 main shooting rooms, and 1 room is more like minimalist. I have painted backdrops, I have seamless paper, I have more of a conservative, clean look because some people like that. Mm-hmm. And then my other room is more of a maximalist. It's like an explosion of color and florals and different things like that. So at times I even create special sets for people too.
So women will come for boudoir photo shoots for a whole host of reasons. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Maybe it's for their partner. Maybe it's for themselves. Maybe they just, you know, want to kind of push their own selves, push the envelope, whatever they want to do.
Right.
So have you come across a situation where someone comes in for a photo shoot and they struggle to sort of move into that intimate space? Maybe they thought it was going to be one thing, and then when they're actually in a room with another person.
Right.
Do you know what I'm asking?
Yes.
Like that situation. So, it's a
right. And I've had women come to me and tell me I'm not photogenic. I'm nervous. I've had a few women, like, you know, their nerves are so much they, you know, get a little teary-eyed in the beginning before we even start posing. Mm-hmm. And I'm about the experience. To me, the experience has to be something that's fun and enjoyable. So whether it's boudoir or glam or branding, you know, some people are not used to being in front of the camera. So what I do for every photo shoot, I tell everybody, you don't need any modeling experience. I'm going to pose you from head to toe. I'm going to coach you on expressions. I'm going to look for the best angles and the best light to make sure you look gorgeous. And some people, you know, they want their boudoir photo shoot, you know, like a girl next door type, you know, and then others want a little more sexy, sultry. I do not do erotic photography, so it doesn't go too far into the sexy realm. You know, it's about feeling beautiful, feeling, you know, empowered, feeling feminine, you know, just all those, you know, things, if that's what they want to feel. If they want to have a different experience where, you know, they have like more sporty, like a sports shirt and things like that, I will, you know, help them feel comfortable at whatever level they are, because I'm a very patient person and I know, you know, what it's like to be in front of the camera. You don't know what I'm seeing. That's why I always show the back of the camera to everybody, so they can kind of get an idea. And then when they see the images are beautiful, a lot of times the
The anxiety
right. kind of just goes down, and then they really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's my mission, is to make people feel beautiful, happy, enjoy it, and then have the image at the end is like the icing on the cake. It's like something they can treasure forever.
Right.
Whether they're doing it for themselves or somebody else.
Penny does all sorts of things. So she also does fantasy, like a fantasy photography, your mermaid series. So let's talk about that.
So I love mermaids. I love anything fantasy. So I have special props in my studio, like the mermaid tails. I have from extra small to 5X. These are professional tails. Somebody could swim in, but I don't use my tails for, any swimming. Mm-hmm. But I've had photo sessions on the beach, on the shore, and in my studio. And I also do composite work where I would cut out someone wearing the tail. And I have all different tops. If somebody doesn't want to show their tummy, I have corset tops. I have different fabrics. I have all sorts of things, bodysuits, body jewelry.
So people come in specifically to pose as mermaids.
Yes, okay. They do. And actually, this is an idea for later on. I'm going to be hosting some mermaid workshops for other photographers so they can learn how to do styled shoots. And of course, I always have the photo shoots. So, for anybody that wants to be a mermaid, I have photo shoots that I do all year round, mermaid style and angel style. So those are the two big ones. But I could really do, other fantasy looks if somebody was interested.
Okay. So the thing that Penny showed me the night of the exhibit that really got it blew me away.
Thank you.
Was her, how would you describe it? Was the AI blended with the...
Yeah, it's like tech art with traditional art. Mm-hmm. So basically, again, with the mermaid theme, I love mermaids, and being a native Floridian and having my studio so close to the ocean, mm-hmm. I care about the ocean. It really intrigues me. So this series is called Sirens of the Sea. These characters are related to mermaids, and their mission is to help save the ocean, ocean conservation and so forth. So what I did was
and you have men and women and every kind of person is in these images.
Different ages, different ethnicities, different genders, different everything. So what I did was create the images in the computer. Mm-hmm. I did some manipulation, composite work, digital painting. Then I printed these, and I used acrylics, some silver foil, some gold foil, some drawing, and some arts and crafts where I pasted things on top. And then I photographed the art piece, and I brought it back in the computer. And then I animated it, and then I linked the animation through an augmented reality program. So basically, at the end, I have an art piece that is ready to be exhibited. It's mixed media because it's part technology, part traditional painting. Mm-hmm. And I have an exhibit coming up at Plunge Beach Resort, mm-hmm. where I'm going to be showing this artwork, and people will be able to walk through and see the artwork. And then I'm going to have an iPad where I walk people around for a virtual experience mm-hmm. of the event. So all of the animation is related to the sea. So every piece has its own animation. Some have like a wave washing through it. Another has jellyfish. Some have regular fish. One has like a lighthouse light that goes around, and they're all interactive. And my purpose is to really make something beautiful and whimsical that also is for a mission to help the oceans and oceanic conservation, and also just, bring a different experience than one would normally have going to an exhibition. This is something that takes it to another level.
The images are absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
I mean, the colors, it's just like you get sucked into them. I mean, they're pristine, but it's like you just completely get sucked into them.
Thank you. That's my hope, that this will, grab everybody's attention and kind of bring them some joy when they see it, but also, have that bigger message out there too that I could help spread.
What do you envision in the future? I mean, obviously you have your exhibits coming up and your current projects, and you're preparing to display those for the public. But creatively, where do you want to, what else do you want to explore in the future?
So I have a few projects that I want to do. One is I want to do the 40 over 40 every single year, because I think that's my passion project. That's really what I love. The other thing is I want to, this is a project for next year. I want to take my photography and mix more fine art, like traditional fine art, with it. So that's something I have in the works. So it's going to be a mix of both. The portraits that I take, adding an extra element to it that is more in the fine art arena. So that's one project I'm really excited about, and that will be sometime in the future. And then the Sirens of the Sea, I hope to make that project even more robust. Perhaps a coffee table book or something like that,
these would be amazing as a coffee table book. They really would.
You.
I mean, they're just made for it.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. I love that.
Yeah.
So I really want to explore that. I'm at the beginning just creating these things. The event is going to be in November, but I really want to take this project to the next level so that more people can, see it and inspire more joy and wonder through the augmented reality.
Let me ask you something. You said just before, when you were talking about mixing the fine art with your photography, what is it that what other things do you like to do, like illustration, painting? What do you like to do?
Right. I love painting, drawing, using different mediums. So here at ArtServe, I do acrylics, watercolors. I have other type of mediums that I use, but I'm going to be working on that even more. Okay. So, yeah.
Excellent. All right. Penny Fraser, Penny Fraser Photography, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for interviewing me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Penny's upcoming 40 over 40 Bombshell Series exhibit will be on display on September 23rd at ArtServe in Fort Lauderdale. Skirt Magazine wants to thank Penny Fraser for her time.